ready.
Alright, yes, I'll be giving my presentation over type 1 diabetes. I picked this topic because I've had type 1 diabetes for 2 years, and I know a bunch of stuff about it. And my dad also had type 1 diabetes, so I think it would be the best subject to give my presentation on. I'll be going over the history of type 1 diabetes, treatment, and the possible complications. But first, I'm going to go over a few myths that people think to be true. People with type 1 diabetes cannot eat sugar. This is false. People with type 1 diabetes can eat sugar, and you just have to give yourself insulin to eat sugar. Number 2, people with type 1 diabetes cannot exercise. This is false. People with type 1 diabetes can exercise and are encouraged to do so because it's very important for you to keep your blood sugars healthy. As long as a food product is labeled sugar-free, a person with type 1 diabetes cannot eat it without, as long as a food product is labeled sugar-free, a person can eat it without thinking about their blood sugar. This is false. If a food product says sugar-free on it, it does not mean that it's carb-free. Per se, if I was to eat like a piece of candy and it said sugar-free, I couldn't just eat it. I would still have to count the carbs in it to give myself insulin. Type 1 diabetes is basically caused by genetics or other unknown factors, which basically cause your pancreas to stop working. It occurs usually in the teenage years. It does not matter what gender you are. It can still happen when you start the same chance of doing it. Diabetes results from autoimmune destruction, which basically means your body is attacking itself. And when that happens, your body destroys your beta cells and your pancreas, and your beta cells make the insulin for you to eat. Insulin helps you keep your blood sugars within range of 80 to 120. Some milestones of type 1 diabetes are in 1552 BC was the first known case of diabetes. In the 1700s, doctors prescribed rose oil, fresh flowers, sweet almonds, snake fat, and starvation. And between 1900 and 1915, the life expectancy for a 10-year-old boy with type 1 diabetes was 1 year. But now a person with type 1 diabetes can live a full life. The first insulin was started being tested in the 1900s on dogs with type 1 diabetes, and they gave insulin to one dog and it survived 70 days, so then they started testing it on people. The first portable blood sugar monitor was invented in 1969. It cost $650, weighed about 3 pounds, and was frequently mistaken for a bomb. The first insulin pump was created in 1979 and had to be carried in a backpack. And I have an insulin pump on right now, and you probably can't even notice it. Some health complications from type 1 diabetes are low blood sugars, which can be caused by more than anticipated exercise, receiving too much insulin, or not eating enough carbs as scheduled. Low blood sugars can be treated with 15-gram snacks, which, for example, is like the juice box or a pack of crackers. High blood sugars can be caused by eating carbs without insulin, illness, sleepiness, or stress. Long-term problems from poorly managed type 1 diabetes include heart and blood vessel disease, nerve damage, kidney damage, eye damage, and foot damage. Blood sugar tests are performed with a small monitor and a small drop of blood, right there in the left-hand corner. The main treatment for type 1 diabetes is Humalog, which is long-lasting insulin, or fast-acting insulin, and then Lantus, which is long-acting insulin. Humalog and Lantus is in the middle, on the top. People with type 1 diabetes receive insulin through syringes. or pumps with tubing or without tubing. Down in the bottom left-hand corner and in the right-hand corner. Insulin pumps with tubing, such as the Omnipod, which is what I have, are the safest, offer the best control, and are the most convenient. People who use the Omnipod have a very small pump, receive insulin every 3 minutes, similar to the pancreas, and don't have to worry about tangling or pulling out the tubing out of the pump. The reason I chose the pump was because it's also waterproof. The reason I chose it was because it's waterproof, it's durable, it's small, and it just controls your blood sugars better than Medtronic, which is the pump that has tubing. Foods that contain carbs, higher blood sugars, and keeping track of how many grams you eat and setting a limit to how many carbs you eat are very important for a diabetic. Endocrinologists, diabetic educators, and dietitians specialize in diabetes, and routine visits every 3 months are very important for diabetes to control blood sugars. People with diabetes spend 3 times as much as people without diabetes, which is an average of $18,000 a year. Some future treatment options are immunizations to vaccinate against type 1 diabetes to prevent the disease from developing, and a method to transfer live beta cells back into the pancreas to reactivate it. Some famous people with diabetes are Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, Jackie Robinson, the first African-American Major League Baseball player, Halle Berry, an actress in lots and lots of movies, Jay Cutler, the current quarterback for the Chicago Bears, and Nick Jonas, a singer for Disney Channel usually. In conclusion, type 1 diabetes is a chronic medical condition that affects many people for centuries, or has been for centuries. And there's been numerous treatments for type 1 diabetes and advances, but they cost a lot of money right now, but they let you live a long, full, healthy life. Researchers continue to prevent and cure diabetes, and are optimistic to do that. Hope this has been informative. If I have any questions.